All weak acids have conjugate bases. So we saw hydrogen carbonate earlier had carbonate, no problem. And likewise, all weak bases have conjugate acids. So ammonia has ammonium. There's all kinds of examples of that. These weak acids and weak bases don't ionize very much. It's usually less than 5%. So for example, one molecule in 20,000 molecules or so, that's kind of what you'd probably expect for one of these weak acids and weak bases. So Kas for acids and Kbs for bases are used a lot in this section. Almost all the Ks are less than 1, and quite a bit less than 1. So here's some examples. Acetic acid with acetate, those would be conjugates. Acetic acid is the acid, and acetate is the conjugate base. Likewise, ammonium is a weak acid, and ammonia is a weak base. And bicarbonate is a weak acid, and carbonate is the conjugate weak base. So these are just examples of acids and bases that are weak and how they interact with each other. Now, for any acid, any weak acid, Ka is going to equal hydronium, H3O+, times the conjugate base A- divided by the concentration of your weak acid. And there are no exceptions to this. All Ka expressions will follow. All Ka expressions will have a hydronium. But if you have a base, the second set there, bases react with water, it'll make the conjugate acid, BH+, and some kind of base, in this case hydroxide. So Kb would be the conjugate acid times hydronium times the value of the conjugate of the weak base. If you have a Ka for a weak acid and you look long enough at the Kb for the conjugate base, something really interesting happens. Now for the weak acid, Ha plus water makes hydronium and the conjugate base, and that's not a big deal, but that would be a Ka expression. The corresponding Kb expression, if you start with a base which is already negative, the base reacts with water, it ends up making H+, as it pulls the H+ off water, and you end up with hydroxide. So these are two conjugate Ks. You could have ammonia and ammonium for Kb, and you could have ammonium and ammonia for the Ka above. Either way, it's going to happen. But what's cool, though, HAs, the weak acids, the conjugate base A-, and will all cancel out. And you'll be left with two waters going to hydronium and hydroxide. And sure enough, that's the expression for a Kw. So Ka times Kb equals Kw as long as they're conjugates. And if you extend this out, Ka is equal to minus log of Ka, and Kb is equal to minus log of Kb. So when you multiply them together, it's like they become kind of like family, which is kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, neither here nor there. So what this means for us, if you have conjugates, Ka times Kb equals Kw, and that can be really empowering. And if you minus log all that stuff, you end up with pKa plus pKb equals 14. And there's a lot of examples where sometimes it hasn't worked out, but here it certainly has. pKa plus pKb equals 14. The Kb for nitrite is 2.17 times 10 to the minus 11th. Let's calculate the Ka for nitrous acid. Now, this problem would be tough, except that nitrous acid is the acid and nitrite is the conjugate base. They're conjugates of each other. If you take away an H plus from HNO2, you end up with NO2 minus. You add an H plus to NO2 minus, and you end up with HNO2. So in this case, since we have Kb and we want to find Ka, let's use Kw equals Ka times Kb and solve for Ka. So if you do that, sure enough, 10 to the minus 14 divided by the Kb, 2.17 10 to the minus 11th, the overall value here comes out to be C, 4.61 times 10 to the minus 4. That's the value of Ka for nitrous acid. In our problem set, we'll use a table like this. This is a table that lists the acids and bases with their strengths. And there's a couple of things worth pointing out. So first of all, at the very top of the acid side, which is on the left, several of the acids just say large. And those are considered super strong acids, and they don't really have a usable Ka. So you can kind of just ignore them. But then right after H3O+, we end up with H2SO3, HSO4-, et cetera, and it goes all the way way down, 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 down. What's really cool about this is that the strongest acids are at the top and the weakest acids are on the bottom, which is kind of a neat thing. On the other hand, the bases are on the right-hand side. They start off with the very, very weak bases, and they progressively get larger and larger until you get to the very large values of K. So for weak systems, one of the weakest systems you'll have would be H2O there, 1.0 times 10 to the minus 14th. Hydrogen sulfate right under it is also pretty weak. It has a Ka of 8.3 times 10 to the minus 13, so pretty small, okay? This also, if you look at it long enough, lists conjugates directly apart from each other. So if you look, for example, at hydrofluoric acid, which is right there, fluoride is right across from it, and they're related by a conjugate. So what that means for us is like the Ka value for HF times the Kb value for fluoride, that should equal Kw, 10 to the minus 14. And that'll work for all of these, which is pretty neat. So at the bottom, hydrogen phosphate there is 3.6 times 10 to the minus 13. That's the Ka. Let's multiply it by the Kb for phosphate, 2.8 times 10 to the minus 2. It should come out to be pretty close to Kw, which is pretty cool. So this table is great for looking at Ka values and Kbs. And you don't have to memorize any of these. I would give you the values on quizzes and exams, but just know how to use them in case you run into them. K, the equilibrium constant, gets bigger as you have more and more product. So it says here which is the strongest base, but all of these Ks are less than 1, okay? So that means all of them are weak. A mole of these won't create a mole of the base or anything like that. However, K is starting to approach 1, which is the kind of line of demarcation, if you will, between something being acidic and something basic. So the strongest base here is going to have the biggest Kb, because strengths of bases are described by how much hydroxide comes off, and you're going to have more hydroxide with a bigger Kb value. So if you look at those numbers long enough, it's carbonate, 2.1 times 10 to the minus 4. That's going to have the strongest base, because even though it's weak, it's going to create more carbonate than any of the other species that might be doing carbonates and hydroxides. So the biggest Kb is going to be the strongest base, and the smallest Kb will be the weakest base. So we would expect carbonate to have more hydroxide available than any of the species up there, and that's going to make it the strongest base. Again, acid strength is determined by hydronium, and base strength is determined by hydroxides. Now, Kas will have hydronium as a product, so as one goes up, the other one goes up. Your strongest acids will have the biggest Kas. And the same thing for bases. The strongest bases will have the biggest Kb, and there's all kinds of examples of how this works out. Now, it's kind of cool to find out what the value is for Ka and Kb. You will never have to look those up. You can always use those table, or I'll give you the information. No problem. Chemical reactions proceed from the stronger acids to the weaker acids, as well as from the stronger bases to the weaker bases. Now, in terms of equilibrium constants, that means it's going to go from the larger Kas to the smaller Kas, as well as from the larger Kbs to the smaller Kbs. So, for example, if you had there in the middle H2CO3 carbonic acid, that has a Ka of 10 to the minus 6. And that's not too weak. However, it's a lot weaker than, for example, HF, hydrofluoric acid, which is 10 to the minus 4. So we would say that HF is the stronger acid, and H2CO3 would be the weaker acid. We're just comparing the magnitudes of Ka. And the same thing on the bottom, but for Kbs. So bigger Kb means more basic. So if we're comparing phosphate on the right side with ammonia, phosphate has a bigger Kb, 10 to the minus 2. It should be more basic there when it comes to NH3. So here's a reaction. We want to decide if this reaction is mostly on the right or mostly on the left. Will it be product favored or reactant favored? And these kind of questions can be kind of tough, except that I want you to remember the 5 strong acids and the 3 strong bases. Now, the three strong bases, sodium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. And the 5 strong acids, nitric acid, perchloric acid, HBr, HI, and HCl. And lo and behold, if you look at that problem, we've got hydrochloric acid right there. Strong acids and strong bases always push the reaction to the opposite side. So in this case, HCl is a reactant. It's going to push this reaction to the product side big time. It has nothing to do with carbonate. HCl is like a hunter killer. It's going to move and get rid of it as soon as you can. So in this case, because of the presence of the strong acid, we would say this reaction lies on the right. Strong acids and strong bases always push towards the opposite direction. Pretty powerful.